Remember the last time we were, oh, yeah,
Oh, sure, this thing forgot. Dang it.
last time we were down with food.
Device connected.
Thank you.
Charge battery.
Sorry. A little behind. I just tested it. Sure. I don't pull over that much.
Deadlines, the deadline for August the 30th. They don't give you much time to be reconsidered. You must stay open for 5 minutes. Yeah, Christina's thrilled about that.
Yeah, I'm working on anything.
So I can still be over. At 6 o'clock, I'll call the meeting to order. And we'll dispense with the pledge of allegiance. This being a work session, nothing official is being voted on. Can I get the approval of this evening's agenda? I'll move to approve this evening's agenda. Second that. A motion and a second, discussion. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? There none, motion carries. Straight into old business, and that would be our lift station project.
So I ran some more numbers for you guys. I sent these
Yep.
schedules out to you when I got them from Todd Hagen. He did a 15-year and a 20-year. Based on the what I got from soft costs from Widseth plus the total improvement preliminaries that he gave us at the last meeting. I only ran my debt schedule sheet for a 15-year because of time constraints. Which obviously is worst case scenario. The one document is what it used to be when we thought we were only doing like $650,000 in debt.
Right, that would be the 2.8.
Yeah. And then the project got bigger, so the second document like this is with the schedules that Todd gave me on July 8th. So you can see that it'll significantly increase our total debt levy compared to what it was with just a 650, almost another $45,000 debt wise. And total levy gets quite a bit bigger, another 40 grand. I did run the numbers for $14,000 out of the wastewater fund and $20,000 out of the wastewater fund as well for comparison. It really doesn't bring it down too much more in terms of debt levy, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like it needs to get done, but it's the schedules are, I mean, we're talking bigger principal payments than what we even did for the water tower at this point. When you get to like the maturity rate on your 15 schedule, you're at like a $95,000 principal payment.
How much does that, how much of that is just the inflation on, 20 years ago versus today?
Oh, well, the schedules are just
like
straight out, like, Todd's gonna give you what he thinks the next coupon rate is gonna be able to be and whatever we settle on. But if we obviously go out for bids on this, this is gonna be our max amount that we can approve to do the project, right? I mean, just like the public works facility, if what gets bid out is exceeds what we can debt for, now we're gonna be in the same situation where we may have to make some cuts on the project. But, you know, we're basically another $450,000 on top of what we originally thought because of the one lift station that is not a lift station. The Drake.
Yeah,
I mean, we literally have nothing there except a couple of pumps. So if you go to the 20-year, it's possible the coupon rate will be better when we actually go out for this. Todd's got to give you the best scenario he can give at the time when he gives an estimate, but even at a 20-year mark, you're still talking $40,000 and $75,000 principal payments, where right now we're almost done. We've got 10 years left on 10 years left on the water tower.
Yeah.
I have one more form I'm missing. The water tower doesn't sunset until 35. So we have 10 more years on the water tower, and right now we're paying $60,000 in principal. From 601.
We went out 30 years on that, at least 35 on the water tower.
The water tower, it must have been, I don't remember when it started, I think it's a 2006 bond.
Yeah, the nameplate on the water tower is 2003.
I think it's a 2006 bond, when everything was done. But obviously, the water tower is a completely different project. You can only use revenues for water projects. We can levy what we need to for wastewater. So we have that, like I've said before, we have that mix that we can do. I don't know if the wastewater fund can handle more than $20,000. I mean, we're not adding more hookups. We don't have more base fees to pull in unless we continue to increase fees, and then that's only gonna be volume. It could be base rates too, but I don't think it's gonna be enough to exceed pulling more than 20 grand out of the wastewater fund to pay a debt like this. So you're still looking at a substantial amount that you're gonna levy for the debt to do this whole project, if that's what the city chooses to go forward with. One of the things that Todd asked me is if we have any cash that we can use for the project. I have not talked to him about what will make a substantial dent into this. And I can't remember what our water sinking fund is at, but I don't think it's enough to really make a dent in this, even if we put 100 grand into it.
I was gonna say, once that's around $250,000.
And we shouldn't use it all. I'm sorry, wastewater fund. We shouldn't use all of our reserves as to cut this down. We need to have at least, I think it's 35% in reserves for each fund, for projects or emergencies or whatever set aside in reserves. So we have to maintain that percent that's within policy. I can double check that before the council meeting, but I think one of the things you guys gotta decide and work on tonight is, are you still feasible to do this project? We all know that it needs to get done. That's inevitable.
So we can't just call this all one project.
We are calling it all one project, Max.
Okay.
but they each,
Why is there a $10,000 mobilization on each?
that
That's a
would
Joe
be,
question.
yeah. The mobilization has just been a spread across all 4 of them. So you would expect probably about a $40,000 mobilization if it was all in one bid schedule. But to try to balance them out, be
Okay,
realistic for each one of them.
right, and with the Drake, it was 25.
Yeah, I can't speak specifically why that was 25. But it's roughly about a
So that's right
That-
around
that's-
55,000.
10 or 15,000 or 15% of what the estimated work for that is. Like the other ones are, 182, 131, and 116. So the mobilization on that one was anywhere from roughly about 7% to 10%. The Drake, there's a couple other components to it in regards to the force main and the sanitary sewer connections that are not part of the other lift station projects,
Right,
so,
because we're relocating it.
yeah, because we're looking at moving it farther
North.
north and east. Now, keep that in mind that this is just a estimate,
Yep,
best case scenario estimate.
That's the case, okay.
It could be less. We try to estimate a little bit on the high side, so there's not a big
guys,
surprise where all of a sudden bids come in 10% over. But if they did, based on how we have it bid, we could potentially pull out one of the lift stations or whatever, but that would have to be a pretty good discussion with Mike and everything, saying, okay, we're way over budget, what do we do?
we've been down this road before.
So it's the best case, best guess, I'll say that one.
I think what we need from the city at this point is, the green light to move ahead with the bidding process, right, Joe?
With the completion of plans so that they could be approved to put out for bid.
Yeah. We can't go any farther unless we know it's feasible.
In worst case scenario, I'll say it this way, say it comes in way high. And the city just says no to all of it. That'll make Mike really, really happy.
I gotta deal with whatever I gotta deal with.
Right.
Yeah,
Right,
but I mean, that's always sort of I'm gonna say the nuclear option on the back end. Not one that I adamantly recommend, but until we actually bid it,
mhm,
we
we
don't,
won't know,
we don't know what the numbers are actually gonna be.
right,
So it'd be for. That's. I guess, I guess we should see how much it's gonna cost. Can't go any further.
Yep, I repeat it every time we have a discussion, which I don't think, I did not realize until I joined the council, and I'm sure 98% of the citizens of this town don't know it, and that is every toilet that flushes in Blackduck has to be lifted to get where it's going.
right,
Nothing flows by nature, by gravity, out to the
Anyways.
boiler. And it's lifted at least once, because there's the main lift station, which I believe everything goes through. Then there's the subordinate
I
lift
mean-
stations that lift it to get it there.
To me,
So-
there's two options, and that's do them all.
or the Maine and the Drake at a bare minimum.
Yeah, I don't think we can
If-
not do the Drake. I mean, I don't think we can not do any of these. We just had a high, we just had 4 inches of rain on Friday. Mike,
Yeah.
what did that
Mike,
do
why
to
don't
our
you tell us
system?
that part? That's a handy little thing to know.
I mean, that's a great testimonial.
Uh,
I mean, obviously, it's a unique event, but
Well, yes and no, because it's happening
more,
more frequently, it seems.
like every summer we get at least
At
one.
least one. Yeah, basically, we were overwhelmed Friday night. We couldn't keep up.
Regarding the wastewater,
Well,
this
I
doesn't,
shouldn't say that. We were right at the absolute brim. I sat and babysat for a few hours. Because there was one lift station that was very, very close to running over. Because it couldn't pump it fast enough. Multifaceted issue there with I, you know, there's a lot of different things going on, right? Pumps getting old, not pumping the rate they need to,
What station was that?
the West End lift station.
Okay. I just like to know.
Well, and there's also an issue there with how the West End lift station ties back in. So it's pumped from the West End lift station. If you're not familiar with where that is, that's just southwest of Dollar General over there on the west side of Oscar. That line, that force main goes directly west through the swamp, makes a curve over there somewhere, and turns and goes up industrial a little ways, where it goes to a manhole and it meets all the rest of town flow coming towards it. So you have two opposing flows meeting right there and then going west over towards the main lift station. So when we get an event like we had Friday night, where by the time I got here, 'cause power went out, so I had to come to, you know, redo the water plant and everything, and check on things. By the time I got here, the old 71 restaurant over there looked like an island. There
Yeah.
was water all around it, water over Oscar. There was a lot everywhere. But what you have there is you have those two kind of head pressures fighting each other right there at an event like that. So like I say, it's multi-fold there because one, you have the aging infrastructure that we've talked about many times. Two, that amount of rain in that short period of time, a lot of where the extra water comes from there, I don't know how much obviously, but over on Railroad by the ambulance garage there, we all know that that's essentially the lowest point in town, right?
I thought it was my place.
Well, you got a little swamp at least behind you and stuff that.
That collects it all. Yeah, you don't
But
have
over-
impervious surfaces about you.
No, and over there, when we get all that rain coming down from every direction, there is a manhole that's close to being in the bottom of the hole over there.
Yep.
So what happens is the storm sewer can't take that much rain that fast. It just can't. I mean, it's as big as it's gonna be, and what you end up with is a bunch of water sitting on the road going down in through the manhole lid, right? So then that's all in there, and it's just, like I said, it's multifaceted. But yes, Friday night, there was a lot of babysitting going on, a lot of, you know, clenched butt cheeks, hoping that we were gonna stay in there and that we weren't gonna have to try to get a pump truck out and all that.
Elegantly put,
Well,
yeah.
it's, you know, doing that, it's not hard by any means to sit, babysit a pump, right? The problem is when it can't be babysat anymore, right? And once it does overflow and all the things that come along with it. Right, that's the issue, the MPCA, all of that stuff. And then you get to a point where, okay, if it keeps overflowing, once essentially, when it's overflowing, it has reached the absolute max that it can take. When that's happening, now your entire collection system is backing up, right?
Yeah.
And it's backing up further and further, and I mean, you get a rain like we had Friday night that goes on for hours, right? If it's prolonged even more than that, well, now you might start having some issues with some of these lower basements in town and things like that. So, I mean, you guys know my stance, we gotta do it. I know Christina's stance, you know, we've gone round and round on these projects a few times, right? I need it,
The city needs it.
the city needs it,
I
the
guess,
money's there, the money's not there,
You know what?
it's a real difficult deal.
and Mike and I were spitballing this afternoon. I mean, a couple of things are going on right now. We got a lot of moving pieces in the air right now, trying to start thinking about our 27 budget and beyond. You know, we've already made some decisions about the police department, and that budget alone is 100%, you know, funded by the levy. That's gonna change going forward, because the decision you guys are going forward with, right now, it looks like we could be saving some money there, which could offset this debt. We're not using all of 26's police department budget, which means that will carry over hopefully into 27. I still gotta look at what that number is gonna be. So we've got some mechanisms we've already tried to do this year that might help us in the future, which may make these numbers different. It might not look like such a hard percentage increase when we actually get to it, but $1 million is still a lot of money.
Mhm.
No matter how you look at it. I mean, obviously, I would say you guys go for the 20-year regardless. I mean, we can't, if this was a USDA money, if this was rural development, we could go 30, because that's what we did with the Public Works Department, but I don't know if we can go, I don't know if we have a mechanism to go 30.
There's no other funding sources
Not that I know
for
of
this
yet.
type of project.
I mean, I can talk to Todd, find out what kind of reserve money we can throw at it to reduce it, but honestly, we're gonna need some of our reserves to get this going. Right? Soft costs, engineering costs, before the money even comes in some cases. The experience with the Public Works facility, a lot of that got recouped by USDA. I don't see that being the case here, but I don't want to have the city go below what its reserve percent needs to be, and I would have to see what amount we have in there now and what could actually be thrown at it. Would it make a substantial difference? Probably not. You don't have $1 million sitting somewhere.
Unless you had a big significant amount, which you
Yeah.
don't.
And we don't. I mean, if you pool all of the city's cash together, we're at like 2 million. That's citywide. So, you know, 100,000 here is really only gonna handle your soft costs, and that's about it. We're gonna have to debt for it long term, no matter what. But we can't keep bouncing the ball. We need to make a decision if we're gonna keep moving forward and seeing what kind of bids we get. Like Joe said, these could come under once the whole plans are together. And then we won't have that for a whole $1 million.
Well, the other thing I'd emphasize is we talked about the Drake lift station. Previously, that's been referred to, I think, as the Drake Motel lift station, and one of the things that I didn't realize is it's not just for the motel, it serves everything on Cedar Avenue.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Drake Motel might be one of the minor users of that lift station, because it's the grocery store and the pond and everything else on Cedar, so. If that goes down, you know, two of the core businesses of the town will be out of commission. I think we need to just keep that in mind. Discussing that, that's a multi-customer lift station, that's critical.
no generator on that one, huh?
Not on the
Drake.
Drake.
No,
Great.
I thought we were going one permanent and total.
no,
They're all permanent now.
well,
No,
no,
It says, you know, bid here permanent, generator.
it should be,
Permanent 45, permanent 75.
should be a permanent at the main lift station. Permanent at the west end. And a permanent on Liberty. The other ones are low enough flow that the thought is if we have one towable, as long as those three permanents are up and running, that one towable can hop around to the rest.
But so far as the what we're looking for here is a go ahead,
To keep finishing the plans,
we have to,
Yes.
we have to go ahead.
Yep, I think so.
because if I read this right, Joe, you still have 3 to 6 weeks for shop drawings, approvals, electrical plans, 8 to 12 weeks, pumps 4 to 6 weeks, so we may not be able to bid until October.
no. That's, those are after you open bids and approve it,
Okay,
because then the contractor submits in their products, their specs, their stuff. We review them to make sure that what they submit in is compliant with what we actually want to install.
okay,
And then once that happens, then they officially put their order in with their supplier.
Okay.
Wherever that may be. And that's one thing with, we're finding more and more that the delay time from when the order comes in and the delivery actually happens keeps getting pushed wider and wider and wider because of,
Amazon.
so
Well-
realistically then, if the council said, yes, let's keep going forward, what would we be looking at from a timeline from today
well,
before plans can be finished and
when's the
bids
next,
could be?
when's the next
posted?
council meeting?
The 10th of August.
It would be tight, but I'm not saying we could actually make that, but I'm thinking we can, cause we're pretty close on a lot of things.
For completing the plans or saying, because bids are gonna have to be published, like, we have to have a certain amount of time for bids to be received, that's gonna be like a 30-day,
Something like this,
Yeah.
I would recommend a 30-day,
and I'm gonna have to have it in the paper X amount of times
at least once.
prior to
Bid
it
open.
opening.
Yep. So the next meeting is the 10th,
Yep,
and that's
that's in, a week,
August.
2 weeks. Today is what now?
No pressure here, Joe, just wait.
2 weeks.
Yeah, I know, I'm just,
It's still 2 weeks.
and then. Well, we can see about it, but, I mean. 1 month would be a recommended. But I'm just looking at September 8th. That might be a little tight. Well. Say if we had a bid deadline of. Say the 16th or that week after or something like that. Maybe it would be a deal to have. Well, number one, we'll know what the bids are. And then it could potentially be maybe the council wants to have a special meeting just to go over the bids. And see if they wanna proceed before the October meeting. But it may be a moot point. Trying to cram it in that quick, because we'd only gain basically a week.
Yeah. So if we post notice for bids to be open August 10th,
Oh, no, that's
No.
to go out for bids.
Yeah.
Bid opening would be. Say the end of September,
okay,
and then bids considered at the council would be October 5th.
okay,
So either way, we're looking, this is. We're still gonna be.
oh, yeah, because you have to have notice,
Yep.
yeah,
The,
bid award wouldn't be until the October meeting.
That's what is,
And then after that, I mean, realistically, are we gonna be able to put anything in the ground?
No,
It'll be spring of,
If everything lined up absolutely perfectly, maybe. But,
it won't.
you know, the only thing you're really putting in the ground is the
Drake.
drake.
well, the Drake, but then also the generator pads and other things for the lift stations. Which is a minor little.
Depending on temperature and heat blankets. and-
Yeah. Yeah.
Blankets for small.
Yeah,
What's that?
They'll use some blankets for small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those little things won't be bad. The main thing you'd run into would be, like I said, over at the Drake.
yeah, cause the Drake involves relocating, digging, underground work. All, you know, all of that.
Yeah, there's gonna be a few different open.
Just start putting your brush there.
Put light fire, just like we do for the brakes, you know?
so that'll disrupt traffic on behind there, the pond or anything like that.
Everything.
No, no, shouldn't. No, most of the work's gonna be, you know, in the grass near the Drake itself now,
That's what I figured.
and then over in the wayside rest south of the road there. I mean, there really shouldn't be. The wayside rest should even be able to probably stay open for the most part.
Yeah, cause.
Other than maybe, you
just
know, a
part
few
of it.
days, you know, just to keep everything safe, keep people away from it, you know.
But even then, that would be like a spring project, given where we're at on the timeline.
Okay.
I mean, they get the other ones. I guess up to snuff for you, Mike.
Yeah, they could, I mean, at least the panels and stuff like that could be done. You know,
This year.
yeah,
And bid opening on September 28th is fine too, because the council's is gonna most likely have a second special meeting anyway to approve the 2027 preliminary levy. Cause that's due at the end of September, so there'll probably be 2 council meetings in September and a work session. It'll be tight, but if we can get, well, Woodset do the, accept the bids on their website platform like they did for the public works. You guys have, you guys have that system.
I mean, we could do it online electronically
Yeah.
or in person open.
We did in-person open for the public works facility. Everybody had to have them, their bid all packaged up and sealed. I think we got half a dozen of them that day, and all the contractors were present at that time. So we just wrote them all down
Nothing's official until it's actually awarded by the council.
by the council, yeah. But the contractors knew who had the lowest bid
Yeah.
when we opened them, so. We could still do that at the same time, like just earlier in the day, but cause the 28th could be will most likely be a council meeting, a special meeting to approve the levy. And I might be able to have it be awarded that day too, instead of waiting for the October 5th council meeting. I almost always have to throw another special meeting in September, Joe, just because of the levy.
To the budget.
Yeah. As long as I have it posted, the reason for the 28th to be a special meeting, that it could be a combined levy approval and awarding. That could give us a whole nother week's time ahead of time,
A week, yeah.
but I don't know if we're splitting hairs at that point or.
And we can evaluate that once it goes out for bid. You know, just like the water treatment plant, I have out for bids right now. I got an email on Friday. And the filter for the thing, we estimated it would be roughly about 30 weeks. For them to get. Email I got last Friday was, you're looking at 50 weeks,
What city is this?
I would say,
Wow.
yeah. So I'm like, well, okay, my whole schedule was just over a year, if not 14 months. Now, this morning we had a meeting, we're actually pushing it out a year and a half to almost 24 months for completion.
Yeah,
So I mean, we don't really know that until after the suppliers start looking at it and saying, well, we'd like to, but it just won't fit into the timeline of stuff. You know, that's what reason why I tried to be upfront with our timeline when I put it on there is, this is what we expect based on some of our conversations,
sure.
so. Just so everybody knows.
Like ordering a fire truck.
Then I just have to work in the debt award and closing on that within the same time frame. If there can potentially be any work done in 26 still.
And there could be with the pumps and the controls and stuff like that, but. It gets cold up here and.
'Cause that's what Ellis is gonna wanna know is when is the bid opening and award
Yeah,
timeframe so that they can go out and get that, that certificate. For hopefully a lower percentage than what
Yeah.
quoted us at. 4% is just an ouch.
Interest rates are.
Oh,
and then also with that is, the numbers here are based on. You taking out a loan like right now.
Yep. Yep.
Or next month.
Yep.
Based on how the payments go, based on their completion and stuff like that. They might only, we'll say by January 1st. Maybe only have 50% done.
yeah,
So then you gotta figure out, say, okay, do we drain our cash reserves to get it to this? And then take out the loan, so, but that's the whole finance.
yeah, I don't see. I mean. I don't even know if we've got enough for 20% upfront to get it started.
See, we won't really know what their schedule is until after we award it, have pre-con on it.
Yeah.
What their actual schedule is. They might go, well, we're not really gonna do anything until February. I mean, we don't know. Which also leads us, probably a discussion with Mike is. Is there a certain time frame where you want certain things done by?
The sooner the better.
I was gonna say now and now.
But you know, like one thing with the main lift station. You know, to me, that's a priority because everything goes through there. So it would be something that we'd have in the specs that. As part of the phase completion. That the work there would be done by. Say the middle of December,
I see.
Sure.
to where the other ones could
Wait until spring,
leapfrog behind them.
sure,
They don't all
because
need
they're
to
not
be,
gonna have 4 teams working on 4 different lift stations at the same time.
but you could,
Depending on
who got
who
the
gets
bid,
the bid
Who
and the
gets the
size of the
bid.
outfit, I guess.
you know. What other work they have going on,
Sure,
so I mean. It could be that they just come in here and just blast out 3 of them,
mhm,
get all that done right away, which would be great for Blackduck.
yeah,
But it may be a thing that they go, okay, we're gonna focus here and we wanna make sure they focus on the main one first. And then they can march right through the other ones.
what
So
do
we
we have
won't
in
really-
here for contingency? 10%,
10%.
hey,
That scares me a little.
well, that's standard.
I know it's standard, but it's still.
Yeah. Usually you start at 25% when you're planning,
Mhm.
and then as you get closer and closer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a lot of information to digest.
Yeah.
But we'll shoot for August 10th, having. Things ready to approve for bid.
I think that that's a good idea. That way you guys can make it official, because, I mean, you guys still have some work to do.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, we're close, but there's. The last little things.
Done anything else on lift stations? Talk about our other favorite thing, then.
MinDOT,
Road construction.
a little frustrated with them, throwing more stuff at us for this project, and then they keep telling me we're 60% done, blah, 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 and we're gonna
Yeah.
tell you how much you're gonna owe us. I loved your email, I hated
I hated
Ethan's
the response too. But I wanted to lay it out there so that they justify why,
Sure,
you know,
Maybe you-
and
can
also
you
for,
summarize that for these guys?
Yeah.
Cause I didn't print it and put it in the council packet.
basically, I sent an email to them. More or less trying to push the subject that it's their project and their policy on ADA stuff that is causing the city of Blackduck that they're pushing Blackduck to actually prepare plan sheets
Mhm.
to.
At our cost,
Yep, to
At our
that city's cost. To adjust well. The manhole structure won't really be adjusted, it's just they're removing all the blacktop around it. And as part of the construction, the contractor will get paid for adjusting that manhole structure. Because they're gonna, take the casting off and put it back on. It's part of the deal, but then the gate valve and the curb stop. They're putting in sidewalk for the ADA ped ramp. Which means that the curb stop and the gate valve that are there need to be adjusted up to what their final elevation is. And
At our cost.
at our cost.
at the
Yeah,
city
they
cost,
don't pay anything for city infrastructure.
yeah, for the utilities.
That's us.
Yep.
Which I think is funny because when Einstein came to us 2 years ago, he's like, the only thing you gotta pay for is streetlights.
Yeah, so,
And we'll pay for one, you pay for the other.
Yep, yeah.
Yep.
So they got started in their
Yep.
plans.
so I wanted to put it back on them because. Talking to some county engineers and everything else. They just take care of stuff like that underneath their. Basically de minimis. Because to adjust those. Rough cost estimates was gonna be like $3,200. And that's including the installation, I think. You know, cause right now they're replacing a culvert. With a new culvert in the exact spot of the culvert. And they wanted to know if we need to adjust the city utilities to accommodate that culvert. I told them, I said, well, if you're putting the culvert back in exactly where the culvert is now. There's no adjustment needed.
Right.
But they kept hammering on, well, if there is an adjustment, the city has to pay for it. And I go, we're not adjusting nothing. It's your guys' stuff, but. They want a. Quantity thing based on what the city. Responsibility is items.
Right.
And then also a plan sheet. Identifying adjust casting, and adjust casting. All at city costs. And details. For those. And I'm like going, there's gonna be more engineering time and effort. That is actually gonna
Gonna
be
cost us.
for those, so basically the cities. Unfortunately get hit on paying for those, but then also. For the cost to put those plan sheets together,
Right.
and I was hoping they'd
And they
just
need them
say,
in their plan sets in order for their project to continue moving
Yep.
forward. They won't do ours.
yep, and I was hoping they'd just say. Yeah, this is such a minor amount on the overall project. They can just do it, well, then I got hit with. Our engineers don't feel comfortable labeling that on the plan, they don't wanna put their license under responsibility. I go, all it is a note saying adjust casting. But, that's dealing with MinDOT.
Yeah.
So, that's where that's all sitting. But in conjunction with that. The pipe culvert crossing for Colburn Creek. Down south of Levers.
Hmm.
There's a culvert that goes all the way from the west side of 71. Underneath 71 and then underneath the frontage road.
Right.
Part of their project is, with their inspections, is. Due to the age of the culvert and the movement of the ground, the joints have separated. So as a maintenance preservation project as part of their work under 71, they're going in there and they're injecting grout in those joints to seal it all back up. To the tune of, if I remember off the top of my head, it was like $4,000 per joint.
Per joint.
It's a big culvert, it's like 84 inches or something like that. So it's a big culvert. I think they're a little high on their price, but that's what they're using for a budget number. So with that, they asked if the city wanted to cooperate on that, is they'd handle the 71 portion, because that's in their right of way. Then the frontage road, which is a city street. The overall quantity would be in their project, but based on the number of joints that are done on underneath that frontage road, if the city wanted to participate in getting that done to the same standard that's underneath 71. And if I recall right, I think my estimate was like 32,000. There was like 9 joints or 8
There's
joints.
that many joints.
Yeah, it was
So
like.
you guys
8
weren't
joints.
able to inspect it, cause I know,
No, cause
No.
it's what, over half full of water?
Tim, you guys couldn't get in it the last time.
No, we get-
You just know how many joints are in it, and we're
That's,
just assuming that they all need to get done at that rate, so that's
Yep.
$32,000.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's,
So the question to them is, do we want to fix it or not?
yep, if the city wants to basically grout the joints internally
Mhm.
underneath the frontage road to match what they're doing under 71.
At their price.
Yeah,
And that's
underneath their
And that's
contract,
100% on us. Okay,
the stuff outside of their right of way is 100% on the city.
Okay.
But then they also throw in a couple of little caveats in regards to the mobilization, traffic
Yes.
control and other things.
yes, is also on us.
Well, a portion of it.
Portion of it will be ours.
Prorated based on the other ones. I'm like, well. Personally, freaking nickel and diming, but that's per the agreement.
Mhm.
That has been through.
Thing I'm frustrated is they keep telling us that we need to be 60% plan set by X date.
Yep, August
So
10th.
okay, thank you, I knew it was in August. And they kept on pushing and pushing and pushing for us to have all of our stuff ready so that they can keep on going. All at the same time, we have just an estimate number of what we're gonna have to pay. We
Yep.
have no idea exactly how much we're gonna have to pay yet. We started off with just lighting and now we're looking at $50,000 to $75,000 potentially
I'd put that as a good budget number, yeah.
for 28. That's a lot of money for our levy, when we're talking about fixing all of our lift stations right now.
And we
And
just
what
got,
happens if we just don't do anything with that?
We have
section?
to do the manhole gate
we have to
valve.
do the utility.
We have to
portion.
do the utility part. We
Okay.
don't have to do the culvert. They asked us if we wanted to.
Yeah, if you want.
Now we know how much it's gonna cost and how many joints are in there.
Yeah, we just got that number last week.
Yes. So we could
So
say,
if the
no,
grout- So if the joints fill up with mud.
Well, if they start leaking, you'll see. With cavities on the top,
If they get bad enough,
yeah,
Mhm.
eventually.
So would our obligation be the fixed 4,000 per joint, or would it be their actual contract?
whatever they bid,
yeah, whatever.
whatever the
they
bid comes in.
They're estimating, so it could be less than 36.
It could,
It could be,
but we'd also be stuck with mobilization and
yeah, a prorated
amount of what
based
it,
on the overall project cost for mobilization.
They're already there.
no.
We have to have a part of their
Yeah.
mobilization.
Oh, part of, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Remember when Summit in Maine got done and it was, we did the underside and the county did the top, so we had a part of all of that. It was a percentage,
I came in right after that.
yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it could.
Yeah, I
be-
mean, the culvert joints. I don't see that as being a priority. Granted, it'd be nice, but I'm not seeing major failures. It's not like you got a cavity right next to the road or anything.
It'd be nice to know if there are any deficiencies or not
Yeah.
before we make the decision, but it's a little,
yeah,
it's pretty hard to get in there right now.
Well,
And that was-
you have to get into a kayak and
Yeah,
float
well,
in there and look at each one of them.
That's one that I personally would just pass on for right now with all the other stuff we have going on.
Yeah, let's see if there are any issues developed.
Yeah.
We have,
Major
it's pretty good with fiberglass.
if we have any visible depressions, we can deal with them at that.
Because I also asked them, based on our little site visit out there. The culvert. Going across there. There's a couple openings that allow water in on the Highway 71 ditch. And. There's sort of little head scratchers a little bit, and I asked them if they were gonna address that. And the answer back was, we're just addressing the culvert things. So. But that's on them, that's in there right away. But what I'm hearing is that. The joint fix. Or maintenance
If we don't
repair,
have to
whatever,
if we don't have to do that, I'd say right now, we just,
you
hold
step
off.
back from it, hold off and.
because to say, yes, go ahead and to jump on board with it, but not know exactly. How much it's going to be, I think get behind that.
Yeah,
If it was in a vacuum where we weren't having $1 million for the lift stations done.
you consider it.
Yeah.
But even
Yeah.
then, it could even be when it actually is bid. That we could probably revisit it based on actually knowing what the bid per joint is.
Okay.
And see about getting a change order into their contract. At that
that's a
time,
good alternative.
you know, that's
Yeah,
2 years from now,
yeah.
when you actually know what your cost is gonna be.
The other thing that's going on in the trunk highway is that early notification of acquisition.
Did you like my email on
I
that?
did like your email, so I talked to this guy the week before I got this.
This gal?
No, the person that sent this from MinDOT called me.
I talked to the gal,
Okay,
that's on the letter.
you can share that in a minute, so. This goes in with the rest of the project, they have to send these out if they end up doing, you know. Whatever when they take over property, but there's 2 pieces of parcel property
Yeah,
along the
it's
frontage road that they may do eminent domain on. You know, when they do the reconstruction, and the one gentleman that called me from MinDOT wanted to know if the corner up here on 71 and Summit, you know, is according to their information was city property. And when I look on GIS, it says it's not, it says it's state.
Well, there's. The east portion is city,
Mhm.
the west portion is listed as DNR.
DNR.
For
Yep.
state, it doesn't say DNR, it's the state of Minnesota.
Yeah, but it's got the address for the DNR.
Yep,
That was his confusion. I'm like, I don't write this.
Yep.
Like, you can do your
but if
your
you looked out
property. I'll look
further,
up.
it's also EILT property,
Oh, Pilt.
payment in lieu of taxes,
Uh-huh.
so. which
They must
it-
have took it then
As tax forfeit or
as tax
something,
forfeiture when they and I told this guy at the state, I said, when 71 was rerouted out of town. And when it was put here, there was a lot of stuff that was moved around, had to been at that point.
yep. You know, just a remnant that never
Never got finished.
got incorporated into the
Yeah.
Highway 71 right away.
My
And it
question,
should have been, but it never was.
so. My question is. 2 of these pieces of property run right, a part of it goes right over our frontage road.
Part of it, yes.
What happens if they need to have it? Do we have to move our road? How does
Worry
that
about the
work?
Culverts.
How does that work? Cause like,
Well,
well, and seriously, this one is
That's what I
right over
mean.
the culvert.
It's right
Yeah.
over the culvert.
Yep.
So
And that's
that
what,
becomes theirs then.
yeah. Well, and I never really asked a bunch of questions on why they actually need the property.
Okay,
I figured that would come out later.
okay,
My whole thing was clarifying ownership.
ownership, yes. Yeah, cause they think we own it.
And if they actually need that little triangle. I think price tag is like 75,000, whatever we need for everything else.
Hey, I like the way you're thinking. Ah.
But I don't know. The biggest thing when I talked to Pamela and identified a couple of these things and discrepancies.
Mhm.
The standard answer I got, well, I gotta talk to my supervisor and clarify a lot of the stuff. So there's some ambiguity on their end.
Yeah, it's like I said, they wanna take over that piece of frontage road, that's exactly where the culvert is. That becomes their culvert.
So we don't have to pay to get it fixed.
Yeah. So I don't know the overall justification, how that one even comes into,
It's probably like silk fence, you know, you gotta have it 500 miles away from where you're working.
I mean, I'm under the understanding that they do this when they actually have to use it for like,
something.
for something of the project, either the road becomes that wide or they're using it to route traffic.
Yeah.
So that they can continue doing the project themselves, like they're doing down in Bemidji, they've got roads in different sections that were never roads.
But the only thing I can think of from a first blush is it's a, we'll say, non-right of way remnant
Sure.
on 71, because you go just east of it is the right of way for Vernon. So there's just that little triangle piece there that I don't think they really need for anything, but it's just a remnant.
Oh,
And-
because that Vernon is platted in there.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
That they're
right.
just trying to clean up all these little stragglers.
Okay.
But I never asked them that question. I just figured sooner or later they'll come out and actually tell us why they need it.
Carl and Deanne losing a little chunk there too.
On the west side of Summit. I would assume that we probably got the same letter. Yeah.
Well, no,
For Timberline.
because where the right of way goes there. Actually, the east part of their access,
Mhm.
drive access,
Mhm.
is actually on MnDOT right away.
It is, okay.
So
Okay.
they're butting up to the Timberline access. Drive access. And everything that MnDOT is proposing is on MnDOT right away.
Okay,
So. If anything, they may get a letter telling them that they gotta remove part of their access drive and parking lot off of MnDOT right away. But I don't foresee that happening.
yeah, I doubt it. They paved it, I'm sure, not MnDOT.
Yeah, so I mean. It shouldn't impact what they have there. Based on what I've seen it being proposed by MnDOT.
Okay.
But I'm sure MnDOT's probably going, they might have an internal policy about cleaning up some of these. Little property remnants. Because even that south one. That triangle piece. According to the GIS, the little nubbin on the north end of the triangle. Is actually owned by, what is it, KAR LLC.
Oh, that's the Duck Inn, that's
Yep.
the Drake Motel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they also own the property on the west side.
They do,
It's all part of the same parcel.
yep,
So MnDOT never cleaned it up when they came through for the Highway 78.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what this is they're just trying to clean things up.
cause I talked to him about that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, but when I talked to Pamela, she was gonna do some internal checking there, so they'll probably come back and have a updated
okay.
deal on it.
So we'll let you guys know when we find out. So we can tell, Ethan Einstein, yes, obviously, we're gonna take care of our utilities, but at this time, we're not gonna do anything with the culvert.
That's what I'm hearing too.
Okay. Thanks, Joe.
Next,
I've left the contract with the county on the old agenda, on the old business, because I don't wanna forget about it. I have reached out to Jason Ritz. They are starting to work on it, so when I get something, I will let you guys know. I think I told you guys that at the last meeting, but at this point, I don't have anything.
and aren't they in negotiations this year too?
I know they were last year, so I don't know if they're doing it again this year. At least that's what I remember from Earhart. All I can comment on is, you know, what the mechanism of the money can really be doing for us and what I'm starting to think about as it pertains to like the 27 budget. I know a lot of people are like, when is this gonna start? I'm not even thinking it's gonna start until 27, but if it starts in fourth quarter, great. You know, it'll be prorated, but as it sits right now, we've used very little of the police budget, so we'll have some funding to move forward into 27, which will help our levy.
I don't know a little bit better how much that's gonna be at the,
I think when I can meet with you guys in August, I might have a little better understanding. I need to do a few of the budget meetings with Stretch and Mike before I can really tell you guys that. I am having a fire protection meeting earlier in August than I would normally do because of my absence. So that's gonna be a whole week early as well. I'll have all that in the agenda for August 10th.
okay? Anybody got anything else, questions or? I thought we were done with our ducks.
That's what Mike said to me today too.
We are, don't worry about it.
Yeah. I sent the Blandon final grant paperwork in.
I got a lot of ducks, none of them are in a row, Mike,
Neither are mine.
but
You
I
don't gotta worry about mine. I'll let you know when it's done.
okay, cause. You let me know.
I saw the same thing on there. I said to Christina, I'm like, I'm pretty sure we were gonna talk about this this morning.
Remember dictating anything about that?
But,
No.
but Mike stood up. and
Maybe you
said,
guys just thought that.
you know what? Done with the ducks.
We are done with the ducks.
All right,
No. Now, the SWP implementation, those grants, the fence quotes, that's still up in the air. I haven't gotten some quotes yet.
Well, that's on me. That'll be taken care of soon here. At this point, we're looking at shrinking the fence to fit the grant money. So, exact size. We're gonna get that figured out.
that makes sense.
Yeah, I really don't wanna get that money back.
Other old business?
We always come up with something, Max. That was me being,
Believe me,
I figured if one of us would have forgotten something.
There's
That's
something,
good that we didn't.
something I was gonna throw out there tonight. It's just escaping me.
Good, maybe we don't need to talk about it then.
I think we could go on to new business.
Okay, this shouldn't take us long. The pond has been kicking this down, for 3 years now to replace that third, the third AC unit since the renovation and the addition. It needs to get done. The liquor store has already a substantial amount set aside to do improvements on something large. It was either gonna be the parking lot or the AC unit. So these are the two quotes that Shonda did get. I told her to move forward with one of them. I strongly think you guys should have the 5-ton unit.
I was gonna actually say the same thing. 'Cause the
Yeah.
Quotes are different.
Yeah,
sizes.
these
This is
quotes
a
are
4 and
different.
this is a 5 and,
We can't move forward until they're equal.
yeah,
So my suggestion, having lived in Arizona 16 years, know a little bit about AC is go with larger, because 5-ton, that doesn't sound too large at all. And to clarify, this is for the
Bar.
bar.
yeah,
On sale, the big, huge room.
correct.
And is it also for the offices and restrooms?
No, the off sale side got a brand new unit that we remodeled.
Yep.
And that runs everything from the kitchen north.
Oh, that runs the kitchen
No,
as
it's
well.
not, so where the kitchen starts.
Yep.
So from the hallway north, right, is all that new unit runs.
Okay.
Well, I mean, the office, the
So this-
storage,
No.
beer
This
cave.
is just for the big cavernous,
Plus-
huge room.
Plus the kitchen.
The restaurant, the kitchen and.
So
the
this
rest-
new unit will help keep up with the unit that is struggling right now.
Yeah, we have 3 units.
Yeah,
One of them-
There's
Every
one-
unit replacing is not for the kitchen.
The unit that we're going to replace, that we're adding, that we wanna put this second one into.
Yeah.
See, we have 3 units.
Yeah.
2 of them run the bar kitchen,
Okay,
and then the third one runs the off sale.
yeah,
Right now, we only have 1 unit trying to run a bar and the kitchen.
Okay.
Which is putting a load on the off sale.
So, well,
So what subsequently ends up happening because of that is that's how we get issues with the beer cooler door.
The beer cave, the big
Because
beer cave.
now that our kitchen is so big, we're putting out so much humidity into that building with the fryers. The AC units cannot keep up. What's wrong, Max?
$3,000 difference?
over 3,000. Again, that'll be mitigated somewhat by increasing the.
You're gonna see at least $1,000 difference for sure in that 4 to 5 ton,
So it'd be
you know.
correct, I think we should
You're gonna be a
contact
lot
Naylor and
closer.
have them revise it 5 tons.
That's what I asked Shonda to do.
Yeah.
I think she was happy that they could put one in the first week in August, so like to resolve you guys' problems. But I strongly told her that she should go with the bigger unit.
I just don't understand what it all broke down to. So
And I'm
how much
waiting
is the
for that.
actual unit, and what is this uncased coil? So you have the air conditioner itself. And then you have a Lennox 5-ton uncased coil. What is that?
I asked for a breakout from Julie and she emailed me today at the end of the day, but it wasn't, the attachment was not there. So I don't know where the details of, because Max does this one. Max always does them this way. He just gives me a total amount that doesn't tell me how much
Cause I just,
Well,
I'm just confused
units are.
by the coil part of it.
I don't wanna put my foot in my mouth. here.
No, then.
I think when
Oh,
any
okay, go ahead.
specific company has been asked to make the same quote multiple times over multiple years, they probably get a little tired of making the quote.
Oh, I follow you on that
is
one.
My guess.
I follow you on that one. Yeah.
See, this
There's
is
some
the-
history on this one, Melissa.
Right,
Yeah.
but this is the first I've heard from Juleson giving us a quote on this unit.
No, that's not true.
It's been a few
Well, this is the first I have
Sure.
heard from
Yeah.
Juleson giving us a quote on this unit.
Because we already had one of them replaced. at the time that one was replaced
Yes,
back in 2021,
yep.
both of them were supposed to be done and
We were
one of the
supposed to
two
have
got done.
Two put
Had a
in.
quote after
We had a
that,
quote at that time for both of them,
And then we've had another quote in there since then too.
correct? So I understand what Mike is saying.
Oh, I understand too, I just,
I think that's where that, the uncased coil, which one is that on, Juleson's or
It's
the
on-
other?
it's on Juleson's.
It's on Jill since it's underneath the actual unit itself, Mike.
So then, we would be inclined to go with, the bigger one, as long as,
As long as the price is.
Well, the bigger one from the lower bidder.
yeah. Make sure we get something, maybe
Yeah, don't,
I can't tell you that it wasn't a misprint or somebody screwed up.
yeah, this is for the money area of the bar, so we wanna make sure it's big enough and it's done.
Yeah, cause right now, when I left today to come down to this meeting, temperature was set at 68 and it's 75 in the bar.
Yeah, people don't wanna go in there and sweat, that's why they go in to have a
I
drink.
mean, it's cooler than outside, but the staff itself for us, it's 75 degrees in that bar.
The other part of that is that you're taxing the living hell out of one
That's sitting there,
decent unit that's there.
yes.
Wow.
Even when you close
If
that
we get
kitchen
a something
door,
like this ever again.
You're
Melissa,
after-
I know that Shonda is still on vacation. Can you get a hold of Nailers tomorrow and ask them if they can change this to a
I am
5-ton
not
unit?
in tomorrow, but I will go in and make the phone call.
Okay, cause I don't wanna go against what the council wants, but
I
I
will-
advise that Shonda make a decision and go forward.
I will
Because
call
it is-
Nailers in the morning
And it's in her budget.
and
If
ask
you guys
for
wanna see two of equal units, then
a 5
We'll have
ton.
to
we'll have to have it.
There's no way,
Ron brings up it's a good point.
you can't approve two bids.
If they're not the
Not the
same
same.
thing.
And then I think we should go with the lower bid, but then make a decision on that.
Mm,
Unless you wanna go local.
It's 3,000 difference.
One of our policies does say that we should go local when at all possible, so. I don't know.
My
That's,
only
I
concern,
leave that up to the department heads.
we felt with Nailers, they do have all of our
I do,
internal stuff already.
yeah.
They have all of our other our cooling and heating, they have done it all.
Except when the pipe broke, and Max was there like he split with the face.
No, under that bar.
Yeah,
So if we can assume, if we up nailers to 5 tons, that's gonna be 1,000 more. So
Possible.
now we're talking a $2,000 difference.
And I would also see what availability is, who's got what. If they got,
We also used Juleson's for the library.
Mhm.
They did a.
they could put us,
They put
Mini
that mini
split
split
in.
in.
Right.
For the air conditioning over there, and it turned out great.
like Fort Valley.
We even had to call a special meeting for that.
so I will call Nailers in the morning and talk with Tanner, who seems to be the one that
Did this one.
did this quote.
Okay.
I will call and talk to Tanner in the morning and see if he can get us a new quote to match what Juleson's is looking.
Just,
Well-
just tell them we
Well,
want a
just a
5-ton
five-
unit.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Just tell them increase 4 to
Yeah.
5, that's it.
Right,
Yep,
that's
don't
what I
tell them
mean.
why.
I will call them and find out what it would be for the 5 ton versus 4 that they've already
This
quoted.
exact same quote except for a 5 ton.
Right, exactly. No, I'm not gonna give
Yeah.
them,
No.
no, not giving them specifics. I'm just gonna ask them for the same 5 ton as what. And then we can
Okay.
find out availability even. I mean, I don't know if we wanna reach out to Max from Juleson's to see how long it would take for them to get one.
First, take this first hurdle done, get the first hurdle on there done.
Yeah,
Right.
Well, has she already called somebody to do it too? So you said you gave her full reign to hire it. quite
I did
responsibly.
tell her she had the money in the budget and if it needed to get done to do it, yes, I
So we
did.
should find. Well, you know, she could have already paid.
But I highly recommended that she go to the 5-ton unit there.
I did talk to her this morning. She did call me this afternoon, Shonda did. I told her I was coming to the meeting, so I wanted to make sure I knew what was going on because I
So
didn't know anything till today.
just to clarify, has Shonda told anybody yes yet?
Not that I am aware of.
Perfect.
As our per conversation this afternoon, she has not said yes to either one.
Okay, so let's get another quote from Nailers.
She was gonna
Let's-
push nailers, for me to push for nailers, just because they can have it by August, but I told her, I said, you gotta think though, this quote was given to you in July 14th.
Well,
So when you ask them to update the 4 to 5 ton, just ask them for a new date.
Right, I
Yeah.
will, correct, and then we can get a hold of Juleson's and
Yes.
see, once I contact to get the quote for the 5 ton. Then we can go,
when you see apples to apples, then we'll be able to make a decision.
exactly,
Looking at those quick, the uncased coil,
yes,
I believe is the AC coil that goes into the furnace itself.
oh,
So
sure,
Wilson's is giving you either a new one of those, or you don't have one, or something. And Naylor's doesn't have that coated, so there's a fair bit of money there too on the.
see,
quote
and they're,
price
because
difference.
Nailers, I'm sure, is just giving you for the AC,
Right.
I don't know that anybody.
Went inside and looked at what
I
kind of
have-
coil you have, can it handle 2 outdoor?
When I
condensers?
went in, because we have 3 furnaces, obviously, each furnace has its own.
Yep.
It's set up for its own air conditioner
Right,
and its own section, zone. So I did have Nailers when they came in, first time to quote, to take a look at this, which was back in the beginning of July. They, he did come inside, and he did ask what furnace was for which unit,
okay,
but I don't know anything more than that.
Okay.
Obviously, I was,
let's see what you can figure out. I will go from there.
okay, I'll start there. I will call
Okay.
Nailers in the morning and talk with Tanner to get a 5 ton quote.
You
Oh,
can
five
understand my
ton.
urgency though, you guys, because like she
Oh,
said,
it's melting.
it's
everybody's
70, I mean, and we have had this problem for 3 years. And we
Yes.
haven't taken action on it, and we should have.
Yeah.
In the meantime, we've been paying Clarity Glass and other businesses to fix our beer cooler, which we shouldn't have done. We should have done the AC unit when we did the renovation.
Well, we were lucky to get that second one back in line.
Right.
Because at one point, we were just running 1 unit.
And like, so
That
on
was
the
the
road,
opposite.
first I've heard about community feedback.
Yeah.
Why was it kicked down the road for so long before it was brought to our attention? If
Because
if it was
that-
bad for 3 years, it should have been fixed 3 years ago, not
It-
fucking
it's-
kicked down the road for.
Yeah, you're right, you're right. Historically, the first time the 2 units in the on sale were supposed to be replaced, we only got 1 done. And then 2020 hit. And the second one couldn't get done at all, and then we started the renovation. So we never put that into the renovation plans. And we've just been dealing with it ever since.
Because it was part of the prior plan that never happened. So therefore,
We put a hold on it because we did the renovations instead.
And it should have been out in renovation.
We did make some concessions on that renovation and that addition though too.
Side note,
Hmm.
on the same topic. Juleson's, if they order they'd have to order the unit in, they'd have it in a couple days.
Good. So, yeah, we need to move forward, because we've lost some time since the 14th. I mean, when you get 2 quotes and they're different, they should, call should be made right away to
see, and I didn't realize
get
it
at the
though,
same time.
looking at it today, that there was, 1 is 4 and 1 is 5.
Now that we know about it.
And if Jules has the coil bidded and Nailers doesn't, I mean, there's $1,000 at least right there for. or
Yeah,
close
see, I
to.
have no idea.
Yeah, Juleson's has the coil on there, so obviously they think that a coil needs to be put in. Whereas if Nailers came and didn't look inside, they were just looking at, okay, you need this outside, here's the price. Your prices are probably gonna get a lot closer. They're gonna get a lot closer. And the bar does what the bar does, right, with their vendors and stuff. I know I use Juleson's a lot. They're local, they're good. I call at 3 in the morning and Max Burmester's here at 3:10 to help me.
Right,
That's my input.
right. I'd much rather go somewhere other than Naylor.
And for the record, when my sewer gets 100% sluggish, they're there the next morning at 8:15.
100% sluggish.
Oh,
All right,
I don't wanna say totally blocked.
well, we're gonna take that at face value then.
Well, they can have it within 2 days, I say we just go.
So then,
I say we just go Jules, and if they can have it quicker.
Yeah.
Local.
then we'll just approve it at the 10. But
What I told Shonda was, if we can get apples to apples, then it could just be in the consent agenda for you guys to final approve.
Right.
But
But that does make me wonder now,
2027 budget process.
about that coil.
so I have started working on, 2027. I've got a lot of preliminary things done and meet with Stretch to do his budget. Tomorrow afternoon, we'll be holding the fire protection meeting on the 13th, the evening of the 13th. Mike and I are meeting to do his budgets Tuesday the 4th, I believe. Next Tuesday.
I think so.
So trying to hold a finance committee meeting on August 13th. That afternoon to get some preliminary stuff knocked out and ready to go for the general fund. I'm gonna be off the 20th of September till September 3rd. I'm going out for my son's boot camp graduation from the Marine Corps. I would like to know if the council wants to have a work session on Monday, the 17th. Because I will not be here until our council meeting on September 8th.
Okay, so you're gonna be gone August?
I'm gonna be gone August 20th until September 3rd, Ron. So I can ask if you guys wanna have a council meeting the following Monday, the 17th, have a work session. Or forego it completely until the September 8th council meeting, but
No, let's touch base before we get an update on anything else that's come through.
so have a meeting in August. Okay.
Maybe a week after that.
And you
It
say
is.
September 8th, you mean the 7th, Monday, September 7th?
Monday, September 7th is Labor Day. It will be the 8th for a council meeting. So what I'm hearing is we will have a work session on August 17th.
Yeah.
It'll just be.
It might be limited, but I wanna make sure we get this duck thing ironed out.
Well, with my absence in June, I don't wanna mess up anything else. I'm trying to get as much as I can done for the budget.
Yep.
Before I take off, so that it isn't too much at the end when I get back.
And you said there was a fire meeting coming up on,
So normally, the budget meeting for the fire protection cities would be the 3rd Thursday in August, Max, but I'm pushing it a week early to the 13th. I know, I'm filling a lot of days up really quickly. So I hope,
6 o'clock?
yes, I should have packets out to the towns in the mail by Thursday or Friday this week.
That's a good.
I think so. I mean, yeah. Then we have most of September to finalize the budget. I mean, a lot of stuff is this year is not as difficult. We won't be doing much for the police department. We worked a lot of stuff out last year. The union is still on their, gonna be entering their 3rd year of their union contract in 2027. So wages should be set in there too, so that should make payroll for those departments easy to work on. Yeah.
Alright.
LGA should be announced here any day now. In the state. Yeah.
Well, there's only 3 of us, so. Who wants to make it?
Motion to adjourn. After we talk about the ducks.
There, not in a row.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Right.
We do stand adjourned. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Just start running them over down there at MnDOT.